So here we are out on Nimrod Lake today, Lake Nimrod Lake. Been here once before in my life, and it was 2 years ago in the summer when it was like 100 degrees. So this lake normally has high water this time of year. A lot of these lakes flood, and this one doesn't have another lake really connected to it, so it stays flooded until they slowly bring it down. They had brought it down, and it's like, the website says it's 3 foot above full pool, but a friend told me it was just at full pool. So we're gonna go out today. I don't have any graphs. I left my, like a dummy, left my graphs at the house. So I basically know the channel just basically on the map. It's pretty self-explanatory. So we're gonna go out and try to catch, it's 7 o'clock right now. A little tournament just took off. We're gonna try to go catch as many fish as possible, but we're gonna see what our best 5 goes, you know, out here today. So wish me luck. Got all our normal pre-spawn baits. It should be, you know, we have a full moon. It's like 50 to 55 degree water temp. So fish should be on the move up shallow. So we're gonna see what we can do. But yeah, should be good. I got chatterbaits, got a couple different depth crankbaits on. I got a spinnerbait, swim jig, something flipping. So we got it all out today, moving baits. We might flip a little bit, but if it's not above full pool, then the bushes won't really be in the water that much. So we're gonna go out and try to catch as many as we can. Beautiful sunrise this morning, 40 degrees. Should get up to like mid 60s this afternoon. So here we go. Good one. I knew I had one bump it. That's a good one. It's a good way to start the morning. It's right where you want them hooked. Right how you want them hooked. 2.5. Just an old 2.5er. You know, to catch that fish in the first 15 minutes of the day, really thought it was going to be a great day, and you know, 2 or 3 hours later, that was still the only bite I had up in the river portion around those bushes. Wasn't quite sure what the deal was, but the water seemed a little higher than I first thought it was when I got there. So made an adjustment, went down lake, looked for some harder banks. So I found this gravel, rocky, flat, shallow area, and just started throwing a square bill around. Figured, hey, I'd get a pretty quick sign if there was some fish down here. So ended up hooking up pretty quickly after stopping on this bank. Caught me a spotted bass. Caught me a spot on the crankbait. I don't even know if he's a keeper. Oh yeah. He's a keeper. That's a good one. I hit something, got stuck for just a second, and then I just snagged this one. He did not want it. I don't know. I did hit something. That's 3. 1.5 pounds. Number 3. 2 fish and 5 casts. So that was a productive spot. You know, 2 fish pretty quick. But right here, you can see the old-fashioned. Check how deep it is because I did forget my graphs this morning. Yep, the drop is right there under the boat. So even though it's a flat bank, that the drop-off was right where my boat was. Fat one. Right here at the boat. One hook around the top of the nose. Right at the boat. So there's a great lesson at home. Obviously a really flat bank, never fished there in my life. I checked the depth of the rod tip, saw that I couldn't touch out here, but I could see the bottom up there. I decided to throw that squarebill, and you know, you don't feel like you caught them off any structure, but they were just sitting off that break on this specific bank. So here I decided to try a much steeper bank, rock still, see if that was the deal, if it was rock, if it was the depth, if it was a flatter bank, to see what the real deal was. Caught a couple short ones, no real keepers, kind of clued me in, hey, maybe they're not on the steep stuff, they are on those flat banks, but it is rocky or a hard piece of cover. It's not big enough. Not a keeper. Woo! Right at the boat. If that bank looks familiar, it's because I caught those 2, the second and third keeper of the day on that bank. Came back and decided to do another pass on it. That wasn't a keeper, had to be 14 inches. But it did get me another bite, did show me that, hey, some of those flatter banks did hold some stuff. So I did go back up in the river to check around some of the bushes in the higher water, but I fished some of those flatter points, the openings to some of those creeks instead of going up in the creeks, just fishing the mouths of them. I treat every fun fishing day like it's a tournament. We have an hour left in my day if it was to check in at 3 o'clock, going that 7 to 3 time frame. Got an hour left, only 4 fish, gotta make something happen. Good one. He wanted to eat it. Cool. Mission accomplished. That was my limit fish. Good to go. Now you're just trying to go experiment some. Went back up there, started throwing a bladed jig up around some bushes around the edges of them, not up in them, to see if I could maybe upgrade in the last 10 minutes before I got to run back. Unfortunately, did get one more bite. Nice. First fish on a melee.